Hello Aquarius, and welcome to Sincere Tarot, where you get the raw honest truth. This is your mid-April tarot forecast, and your theme mid-month is the Emperor. Ambition, power, status, success, working really hard to get what you want. The father figure of the deck, authority, status, just being able to have gained your position from experience and like being really fair and respect for law, order, and rules. Really good boundaries. Let's see how this ties into the rest of your reading. So I've shuffled the cards off camera, but I'm showing you that I'm cutting the deck. I've got I've got three different decks. I've got my Tarot of the Cat deck, Thoth deck, and Mystic Mondays deck, representing what's happening on the surface, beneath the surface, and advice cards. Definitely make sure you stick around until the end, where you pick your own destiny cards, so you use your intuition for that. Wow, looks like your April's going to be quite intense. I definitely see why you need to really connect with your inner like Emperor, King strength. So this can also be like an Aries influence as well. And I feel like the Aries energy is like, you know, fearlessness and courage. Well, having fear, but like just going for it, like courage, and strength. Okay. Holy moly. Okay. And oh yeah, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. All right. Let's see. All right. So I'll first show you the two cards on the surface, right? But they're going to have a bit of a different meaning when I show you the cards beneath the surface and the advice cards. Okay. So essentially like third week, fourth week overall, give or take. We've got the Five of Pentacles during the third week. So that is disappointment, there's loss, there's grief. Mind you, it's a minor arcana, so it's not going to be like turning your whole life upside down disappointment. Like, it sucks. It could be the loss of a promotion, the loss of a job, the loss of a contract. Maybe you like lost some money for investments. It's the loss of some sort of security, something that gave you security. So it could be the loss of some sort of a relationship that made you feel secure. It could be like getting some test results back and you're really disappointed about them, because it can sometimes have to do with physical health, but it's ultimately disappointment, loss. There's a grieving process. Okay. But there's always hope. It's just hard to see in the middle of grief because it's a process, so you can't skip some of those steps. I feel like it's going to cause you to have new strength, new courage. So like Ace of Swords, I really feel like in this deck, this Ace of Swords really has their guard up. They're kind of like on the defense, but you can see they're kind of like on top of a hill, so that they also have like kind of a good vision, maybe thinking about where they want to go next, because the Ace is also like a new beginning, a new start. And then Swords represents like mental clarity, but also strength, courage, power, being able to speak clearly, cutting through the bullshit. So yes, this sucks, but I feel like it's allowing you a new perspective, maybe like maybe a new belief system, just being more direct, not putting up with any bullshit. Like, you're just going to say things the way that you see them. Oh, and this can also be a clear answer. So maybe you're kind of, you know, you're feeling grief and you're feeling sadness and sorrow, but also this could be like a clear answer that's very direct and pointed. Okay. So yeah, sometimes it can be a message, but I think it's just like mental clarity. All right. So now I'll show you the cards associated with the third week. So essentially, like I said, during the third week, on the surface, Five of Pentacles, grief, disappointment, loss, sorrow. It sucks. And then beneath the surface, we've got the Ten of Wands, oppression. And then your advice card is the Chariot. So I feel like maybe kind of being in this like grief situation, you're feeling like it's just, I think you might be putting like a lot of pressure on yourself, or maybe the situation, you're feeling a lot of pressure. Like there's just too much for you to, you know, deal with all on your own. That it's blocking your energy. You're just feeling like too much like duty, obligation, like you have to do everything by yourself, and it really sucks, and it blocks your spiritual energy and your libido and everything. Your advice is just to be like see how this person's looking up at the future over the hills, this person's looking down, right? Your advice, the Chariot, is just to be like, you know what? How do you want your life to be? How do you see your life? Look at it in the long term and just go for it. You're going to have to, at some point, you know, move on, right? And the Chariot is telling you to kind of like pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You are strong, okay? Remember, this is a higher arcana, these are minor, so this is more powerful, right? Yes, this sucks. Yes, this is horrible, but you also want to be able to move on. So I feel like that might be the most healing situation for you, potentially. All right, 4th week. I feel like you're just kind of mentally back up there, but like I said, 4th week, Ace of Swords on the surface. Beneath the surface, we've got the Princess of Discs, and your advice is the Devil. Okay, so, okay, I think I'm getting how this Emperor card is coming into play for your mid-theme. So like I said, Ace of Swords, like new courage, power, strength, clarity of mind, maybe a new direction, but just a clear head, clear answer, new start, because it's an ace, okay? You are able to have this new start. And also like the Princess of Discs, I feel like is someone who maybe you've got like a new idea or a new piece of information. And the Princess of Discs is really, really good at taking like that idea, that direction, and practically applying it. She's also really connected to the earth. So you also might want to be spending a little bit more time outside as well, or you are spending more time. Like she's looking at everything physically manifested outside, and it's almost like looking for her ingredients to actually create what she needs to collect the actual material things, right? So this can be like more like the idea, and this is the creation, right? Your advice is the Devil, and as the advice card, it's like never get trapped, right? You have in like your head or stuck, and especially if you feel like that stress, that fear, like oh my gosh, it's gonna be this way, this is gonna be no, that is your ego flipping out. And yes, our ego is very useful, very important, but sometimes when it gets out of control, it will disconnect us from our soul essence in a sense, right? So just be aware, have an awareness of when you're feeling like, oh my gosh, it only has to be this way, because remember, you've got this new pointed perspective. And I feel like sometimes when we get a new pointed perspective, we can almost get, even though we've like shed away that old perspective, we have a new perspective, then it's like, oh, okay, well, this is the way, right? But just always know that whatever you think, you can always walk away from that, especially if it's fear-based, okay? And if it doesn't feel right, maybe you should walk away from it. Okay, so if you picked one, look at this. We have got the 10 of Wands, and remember we've had the 10 of Wands underneath the surface for the first week, and we have the Sun beneath the surface, and we have the Justice card, also potential Libra influence. Oh, and the Sun to me can sometimes be a Leo influence. Yeah, so this, is your advice card. Anyways, so I feel like, so remember this 10 of Wands, we also had that under the surface for the first week. Did I just say that? Sorry. Okay, anyways, essentially, you have worked really hard to get where you got. You have had a lot of responsibility, a lot of duty. Maybe you're the owner of a shop and you're like the only one being able to run it now. Maybe you're at home with the kids all the time and you're like the only one responsible for like lots of people in your family, right? It's so much responsibility. It's been really hard. Yes, you've been holding it together, okay, but it hasn't really given you the time you really need to grieve for something of yourself, because you've got so much responsibility like around you. Anyways, what's really great is beneath the surface, we've got the Sun. So yes, you've been holding it together and you are manifesting. This will come in your future, like joy, bliss, celebration, life, okay? Just really appreciating the beautiful, wonderful things of life. Like this is, in my opinion, probably one of the, if not the best cards in the entire deck, right? So you have been holding it together and that will pay off. It is already coming into action to be manifested in the future, right? And yeah, so that's great. Your advice is the Justice card. So just to remember to keep everything as balanced as possible, try and look at things as much as possible in a fair and objective manner. And also if there's any like legal or kind of decisions that are going to be made, this is really well aspected next to the Sun. Things will turn out in your favor. You don't have anything to worry about in that regard. Or if there's like a decision, like rules or something like that, don't worry about it. If you pick 2, let's see what we've got. This is really good. look, we've got on the surface the Empress, okay? And look, remember your theme was the Emperor, so real good balance of masculine, feminine energy. So the Empress, this is great. I feel, okay, so we've got the Empress on the surface, beneath the surface, the Nine of Discs or gain, and your advice is the Two of Pentacles, okay? So I feel like you have, you know, you've really taken care of yourself. You treat yourself when you need to overall, okay? You have, you love the beauty and the joy in life, okay? And I feel like, you know, you might actually have some money coming your way. This could be like an inheritance, it could be a raise, it could be a contract for work being signed, it could be a contract for like, you know, land or a house or just something like that. It's something that's really good that it has something to do with physical. It could also be like really good results about like your physical health if you've been waiting for test results for your body, okay? Your advice is the Two of Pentacles, and this is all about prioritization, like figuring out what's really important, okay? Because I feel like, you know, you're in a really good position when you do get this information, when you do receive whatever is coming your way. That's really awesome, okay? It's going to help you out. You really need to prioritize like how you're going to spend it, which way you want to go, because you might be like, oh, I think I'm going to do this, but it's still up in the air. This also means up in the air can go one way or the other. So you need to really decide how you want to spend this, how you want to use this, how, you know what I mean? Like what you want to do with that. Yeah, so it can still go 50-50. It's up to you. All right, if you pick 3, let's see what we've got. Whoa! Oh my gosh. Wow. Holy moly. All right, look, we have got some intense higher arcana cards. If you picked 3 on the surface, we've got the Lovers, possible Gemini influence. And then beneath the surface, we've got the Universe. And your advice is the Princess of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like you are totally, like there's a really intense feeling with your lover, okay? This person you're in a love relationship with, you guys feel like you complete one another, like you're just in a whole other world when you're together. And yeah, like literally like you complete one another and you want to have a new life in a sense with one another. Your advice is, and it's great, and it might have been like written in the stars. Okay, so Princess of Pentacles. So is kind of saying like, look, you need to be practical, you need to be sensible, you need to like move forward in a practical manner. So you might want to actually like, yes, you've got this amazing feeling, this amazing love, right? But it's not just about love. You also need to like figure out, okay, where are you going to live? Who's going to do the shopping? How are we going to organize our finances? You know, who's going to be on the lease or just things like that. Oh, who's going to do the cooking? Who's going to do the cleaning? And, you know, figure out a schedule, figure out what you're going to do. So yes, it's great that you've got this love, but you also need to like be very practical, especially if you are deciding to live together or if you're going to buy a house together, because I feel like this is almost like leveling up. So if you are if you were dating someone, I feel like you're going to be like committed, maybe moving into one another with one another. If you if you are living together, maybe you're going to be buying a new house, or maybe you're going to be, yeah, so just like really connecting with another, and it's like your relationship's going to the next level, but you need to be super practical and like sit down and actually figure out what the day-to-day life is going to look like, you know, and how, especially when it comes to money and finances, okay? All right, I hope that was helpful. If you'd like a private reading, send me an email or check out my website. That's all in the description below. I do monthly, mid-monthly readings, so definitely make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, let me comment below, like what you thought of the reading. Only write nice things. If you're gonna say anything mean, just keep it to yourself. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, and if you're still here, you get a secret bonus card. Secret bonus card. Ooh, 8 of Pentacles. So whatever you're working on creatively or financially, just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You can do it 100%. Have a great month. Bye.